First, I want to thank these families for taking time out of their day to join us. Welcome, and it's great to have you here today. You are who this is all about. This plan is for the middle-class families in this country who deserve a break. It is for the families who are out there living paycheck to paycheck, who just keep getting squeezed. You know, about half the country today is living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot more people are about a paycheck away from living paycheck to paycheck in this country, and this is going to help give people relief. The Tax Cut and Jobs Act will deliver real relief for people in the middle, people who are also striving to get there. With this plan, the typical family of four will save $1,182 a year on their taxes. For many families, having an additional $1,182 more will make a real difference. That $1,182 more covers about a year's worth of gas for your car. It covers your family's phone bill for the year, depending on how much data, of course, your kids use. That $1,182 more, it can help you pay down your debt faster. It can help you start and renovate your home faster. That $1,182 more for the average family, that will help you put more money away for college. It will help you save for retirement. It will help you save for a rainy day. With this plan, we are getting rid of loopholes for special interests, and we are leveling the playing field. We're making things so simple. We're making things so simple that you can do your taxes on a form the size of a postcard. With this plan, we are making pro-growth reforms so that, yes, America can compete with the rest of the world, but we're also making it so that families like these that are here can have more take-home pay. This is it. This is a very important and special moment for our country, for all Americans. Are we going to let the defenders of the status quo win and see our country continue down this downward spiral? Or are we going to realize the promise of our country? Are we going to revitalize the American idea? This is our chance to make sure that generations to come don't just get by, they get ahead in this country. Let me turn this over to the person who has led this effort. I am so proud of this man and this committee in this room. I want to turn it over to the chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, and I want to thank all of the members of the Ways and Means Committee for bringing us to where we are, or for getting us to this point. And ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Brady, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, the American family standing with us today, and thank you as well, the Ways and Means Committee members who have been listening and traveling across this country for this historic day. This is an exciting day, and I can think we all feel the excitement here in this room and here in this country. I know the American people have got to be excited as well. Real relief from today's complex, costly, an unfair tax code is on the way. With this bill, there's relief for real American families. There's relief for American workers, and there's tax relief for our hard-working job creators of all sizes. And with this bill, we will grow our economy by delivering more jobs, fair taxes, and bigger paychecks to Americans of all walks of life. That's especially true for low and middle income Americans who are just sick of today's broken tax code, its impact on their jobs, their lives, and their paychecks. Under the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, that's going to change, and it's going to change right now. For a middle-income family of four making $59,000 a year, as the Speaker said, this bill delivers tax cut of nearly $1,200. For that Main Street business, making $62,000 a year, working day and night and weekends, a tax cut of over $3,000 for that Main Street business. That's your money. You earned it. You deserve to keep it. And you should be able to use it for whatever you want. That's exactly what this bill will do, and that's why the Tax Cut and Jobs Act has President Trump's full support. This is in America. This is our opportunity to make tax reform a reality and deliver the most transformational tax cuts in a generation. So let's not let Washington's special interests, the TV pundits, or the pessimists fool you. None of them thought we'd even get this far with tax reform, and they're wrong. Now, working together with President Trump our colleagues in the House and Senate, and you, the American people, we're going to prove them wrong once and for all by getting pro-growth tax reform to the President's desk this year. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Chairman Brady, for your tremendous leadership, all the members of the Ways and Means Committee. The Speaker said that this is a special moment. We are going to make our economy boom. For the average family of four, that median income earner in America making $59,000, we're talking about $1,182 in your pocket. You think about the holidays right around the corner, what that means in your life. You know, as I travel around Eastern Washington and visit towns and communities, and just recently I was down in North Carolina and in Michigan, you think about $1,182 for someone who's living paycheck to paycheck, someone in Kettle Falls. That's making a big difference. Or families like D. Cooks from Sterling Heights, Michigan. Maybe they can put a little bit more money towards their mortgage. Or Victor, he's a restaurant owner in Michigan, and he says, quote, "We pay our taxes first, we pay our people second, we pay our bills third, and then if anything's left over, we get paid." Our plan's going to help people like Victor. Our plan also means more peace of mind, to spend more time with your kids or maybe your aging parents, or maybe just hang out with your friends. Our plan is pro-family and it's pro-economic growth because we value hard work and family. So if we're going to have a tax code that puts families first, I think we also need to recognize that today's working American family has really changed since our tax code was last reformed. With that comes big change for the realities that our families face every day. For one, women today are making history in the workforce. 2 out of 3 businesses are being started by women. And this means a lot of things. It includes an increase of working moms, like some that are represented here today. We, too, are the faces of tax reform. And that's why I'm pleased that our plan includes an expansion of the child tax credit, a family credit. It's going to help families have more money in their pocketbooks. Pro-family, pro-growth. That's what this plan is all about. It's so that you can plan for your future, realize your fullest potential, and empower American families to start dreaming again. And to see how, text tax reform to 50589.
I like it. Get it.
Sorry. Well, this is an important day, and I hope you understand the significance of it. For every member, this could really become the most significant bill they ever make a decision in their term in Congress. More than 3 decades for the last time we had tax reform of this size. American public has been asking for it. And I think it's a little ironic that today is the 7th anniversary of Republicans being elected to the majority in the House and then moving to the Senate, and now we have a president who has pushed to make sure hardworking Americans get to keep more of what they earn. There's 3 major points I want to make. When I was 20 years old, I started my first small business. Small business creates more jobs than any other thing in America. In this bill, they'll get lower taxes, go to 25%, the lowest it's been in 40 years. More small businesses, more jobs. Second, every single American is going to keep more of what they earn. The single American, when you talk about a standard deduction, instead of the first $6,000 you earn tax-free, it's $12,000. For these families and couples, the first $24,000 you earn, tax-free. You get to keep it. You get to determine what's best to invest. We're going to bring the money that's sitting overseas back to invest in American businesses. Even before this bill goes into effect, I believe you're going to hear from businesses saying they want to come back to America. And the cornerstone of what Ways and Means, of what President Trump has worked so hard about, at the end of the day, is that middle-class family able to get more. As you heard from every other speaker up here, almost $1,200 in your pocket. That's the difference. This is about tax cuts. This is about America first. And this is about the future. Not only will America grow, we'll show the rest of the world how to lead. I want to introduce one of those individuals who got elected 7 years ago, who became a leader on Ways and Means and has really shown the direction of so much in this bill, Kristi Noem.
Well, thank you, Mr. Leader. Some time ago, I was grocery shopping at about 11 o'clock at night in South Dakota, and a woman came down the aisle towards me, and she had her handful of coupons, she had her cart full of generic food, and she said, "Kristi, when is it going to get better?" She said, "Healthcare costs have gone up, my electricity has gone up, I had to carpool into town tonight to go to work, and I'm waiting for my friend to give me a ride home, but that means I missed my son's basketball game and my daughter's doctor appointment. When is it going to get better? I haven't had a raise in years." Today, this bill, I know, is going to bring relief to her and help things get better. She was in the forefront of my mind while we were working on all the details of this package. The lower rates for everybody, the simplicity, the mortgage interest rate deduction, the family tax credit. I hope you understand how much it's been expanded to not just take into account a child tax credit, but add benefits for also elderly dependents that may be in the home, children who are living in the home that are going to college, and really provide relief for those families that are struggling. And then also starting January, their paychecks are going to be bigger. And that's going to make a huge difference for them. I became passionate about tax reform years ago. And it was because when I was going to college, my dad was killed in an accident on our family farm. He was 49 years old. He was my hero, and my entire life all I had wanted to do was to grow up and farm with him. When he was killed, about a month later, we got a bill in the mail from the IRS that said we owed death taxes. Now, we had land, we had cattle, we had machinery, but we didn't have any money in the bank. And I could not believe that the federal government would come to a family that had already paid taxes on all that income and say, because you had a tragedy, now you have to pay again. We took out a loan, but it took us 10 years to pay off that loan. And it was very difficult for us to keep our family operation. If we had had a gas station or a grocery store, the only option that would have been available to us would have been to sell that family business to pay those taxes. So I ran for the state legislature. I ran for Congress on a lot of issues, but repealing the death tax is incredibly important to me because it's the most unfair tax in our tax code. It's a double tax, and if we're going to really get back to a tax code that helps people and doesn't harm them, that's fair, that doesn't have special provisions or penalties by us picking winners and losers, then we have to repeal the death tax. So I'm excited about the provisions in this bill and what it does for people in all walks of life, but its focus on bringing relief to low and middle income individuals, and also focusing on interest deductibility for farms and ranches across the state, and other provisions that will allow them to expense and bring down their rates while they're being successful in helping our economy grow again. This is a unique opportunity for me, it's a unique opportunity for you, and it's a wonderful opportunity for our country, and I'm thrilled to be a part of it.
This is an exciting day for American families who are tired of paying too much in taxes, who are fed up with a tax code that's so complicated that if you call 10 different IRS agents, you're going to get 10 different answers. People who are fed up with an economy that's not growing, where they see their wages stagnant. And the good news is that changes today with this tax cut plan that finally puts money back in the pockets of working families. If you look at what was done here, Chairman Brady and his committee at Ways and Means have worked incredibly hard to make sure that hardworking families are going to get more of their paychecks. They're going to be able to keep more money. You're going to see wages grow by getting our economy back on track. And look, every time I see a company moving jobs overseas, it makes me angry. Now, we can be angry, we can be mad, but today we do something about it. By changing the tax code, we actually bring those jobs back to America. You're going to see tens of thousands of high-paying jobs come back to America because right now America is dead last in the industrialized world because we have the highest tax rate. That needs to change. Let's make America competitive again. That's what our bill does. And by making America competitive again, we have an opportunity to rebuild the middle class, to bring good jobs back to America, and to grow our economy. And just like these families behind me, They want to see more money in their pockets. They deserve to have more shots at the American dream. You're going to see more people have real opportunity and have a real chance to get their piece of the American dream by having more money in their pockets and by seeing things like the death tax eliminated, just like Christy talked about. This is an exciting day, not only because we're standing here today as Republicans in the House moving forward, but President Trump is standing with us. President Trump campaigned on doing this exact same thing of putting money back in the pockets of hardworking families and to make sure that we can rebuild our middle class and get our economy back on track. And so it's exciting to be working with President Trump to do something that's truly going to grow our economy and give more people a chance to have their piece of the American dream. Now I'd like to turn it over to Peter Roscom, who's been a leader on the Ways and Means Committee at helping make sure we can simplify this tax code so much that you can actually fill out, over 90% of Americans will be able to fill out their taxes on a postcard. That's what simplicity means, not only having more money in your pocket, but being able to do this. Peter Roscom. Here, I'll leave that there for you.
Keep the postcard.
Well, thank you, Mr. Whip. You notice that the children were becoming impatient with tax reform. They walked out a couple of minutes ago. She's become a table pounder. Say, get me this action right now. Look, what we're going after is we're directly attacking the status quo. The status quo of the tax code, the status quo of the Internal Revenue Code is the problem. It's the few that benefit under the status quo. And it's everybody else that basically feels crushed by this and overwhelmed by this, and we act as if historically this is a natural disaster that we can't do anything about. It's not a natural disaster. The Internal Revenue Code is a statute. It was created by Congress, and it can be changed by Congress. And what you sense right now, the optimism here on this podium, the sense of forward-lookingness across the American public, is people are longing for something that gives them relief. They're longing for something that will bring back sort of the competitive nature. Look, there's two views of the economy that are competing for the affections of the American people right now. One view is wrong. It's the zero-sum game view of the economy. It says if somebody is successful, that comes at someone else's demise. We reject that wholeheartedly. The other view says, no. When people are successful, it inures a benefit to everybody. Now, we're sensitive to making sure everyone can participate, and that at its structure, these changes that we're proposing are transformational for everyone. So I think what we need to do now is to be diligent, to be convincing, to be invitational, and recognize that opportunities like this are few and far between. And so I want to thank our speaker and our leadership team, and Chairman Brady especially, for being tenacious and being willing to listen to changes and to hear criticisms and critiques, but ultimately to be incredibly disciplined and persevering to make sure that we have the opportunity to determine our future.
First, I got to say, these kids are behaving better than my kids do at church. So fantastic job, guys. Any questions? Kevin, come on up here. Yeah.
Is getting up to the swamp people. But it seems like you guys worked hard last night to make sure that you can make the corporate rate reduction permanent, while parts of the individual code and family credit are temporary. How do you square those two?
So we are focused on increasing paychecks in a major way. And we know the families who struggle the most have seen their paychecks leave for other countries. So we drove toward a 20% rate so our local businesses can compete and win anywhere in the world, especially here at home, so they can compete and create jobs, compete against China, Europe, Canada, and Mexico, and create jobs here in America as well. It was critically important the rest of the world understand we're not going to be the doormat any longer. We're not going to stand still for 30 years as they leave us in the dust. We're going to compete, and we're going to win, and our jobs and paychecks for the middle-class families are going to grow. And so permanence for businesses, permanence for families matter. We did create in this new family credit, which I think you ought to take a close look at. I look at our neighbors, not only getting more help with their child, getting more help for themselves, And that college kid, and I've got one at home, you know, or that parent coming back to live. And the most important thing about that family credit, it doubles the amount of Americans who can finally get help with their kids. This is a family-friendly tax code. And so I'm very excited about what this brings middle-class Americans, and I think permanence and certainty drives that growth.
Drucker.
Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Can you talk about the political will for Republicans to compromise among themselves as this moves forward compared to what we saw with the health care bill, even though you did ultimately pass that? It was a bit messier. And secondarily, for years, you and other Republicans have argued that all Americans that pay taxes and work should get a tax cut. But with some of the elements of this bill and where your rhetorical focus today, it's clearly on people in a certain position on the income scale. And it's steered away from the sort of argument you had with Democrats over the past 10 to 20 years, and certainly under Obama. Can you talk about that?
So first off, the political will is strong, and you can see it right here. We have not reformed the tax code since 1986. The world is passing this country by, and we're losing jobs and companies as a result of it. So the political will among the members here in the House, as shown by the members of the Ways and Means Committee, is ironclad to get this done, because if we don't do this, we will not get the kind of economic potential that we know we can reach. And the fact that people are living paycheck to paycheck in this country, about half of people are living that, they need a break. So yes, the focus is on middle-class tax relief. The focus is on directing that tax relief to the people in the middle and the people who are trying to get there, and that is why we put our emphasis on that tax relief for those people who are in the middle, who are working paycheck to paycheck, striving to get ahead. And what Kevin just said, we've got to modernize our tax code so that we can be competitive again, so that we can keep jobs in this country, so we can keep businesses in this country. We have seen a flurry of U.S. companies moving overseas and becoming foreign companies. That will only increase if we stay at the back of the pack. That is why we have to work quickly to fix our tax system, clean it up, level the playing field, make it more fair, so that we can get bigger paychecks, more jobs, and keep businesses in America and get businesses coming back home. We're the only country that says to a business, if you make money overseas, keep it there, because their tax laws basically don't let you bring it back. So this levels the playing field and gets that money back into our country to invest in our jobs here. That's going to help paychecks. That's going to help competitiveness. And that is why Republicans are absolutely committed to doing this. Yeah.
The Bush tax cuts did not result in growth or higher wages or more jobs. Why are you so certain that this will be different?
So first, can I just comment, did the speaker just sound like a former chairman of the Ways and Means Committee?
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I know, you were getting ramped up.
Just getting going.
So the question was what?
Our last experiment with
sure.
Bush tax cuts didn't lead to growth or higher wages or more jobs. In fact, quite the opposite. So why are you
So this is a complete redesign of the code, so we can simplify it so much that 9 out of 10 Americans can file using a postcard style system, lowering the rates, protecting more of the first dollars you earn, making sure you have strong middle class relief. But it's more than that. We're not just putting higher octane fuel in an old clunker of a tax car. We propose to drive a newer tax car that can compete and win against any country in the world. So that redesign for simplicity, fairness, and competitiveness, I predict under this tax reform plan, America will vault from 31st in the world among our competitors to the top 3 as the best places on the planet for that next new job, that next new manufacturing plant, that next new research headquarters. That's what's different.
Casey.
Sneak a second question in there, Bill. I can just have your forbearance, but if Republicans can't get this done, do you deserve to control the Congress?
What's your second question? We're going to get this done. You know why? Because the American people are counting on us. We're going to get this done because we told the American people this is what we're going to do if we get this majority. And guess what? We're doing it. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.